Jessica here with the Spiegel Mama Scraps design team. You can use my code there on the screen to save 15% in the shop. And I am starting this layout off today with a background paper by 49 and Market, and then matting behind my photo with one of the striped 49 and Market patterned papers, which is actually one of my favorites. I just ordered a whole bunch more of them because I just love using those to back my photos with that cute little stripe. And then I decided to make a big shaker pocket on this page. So I'm just using my circle cutter by We Are Memory Keepers and cutting a circle. I believe it was about 7.5 inches. And I'm going to make my shaker pocket with some vellum. So I just attached 2 little spots right there so that I could do some machine stitching to actually hold that down. So I kind of did this like making a pillow. So I just left a little part open here on this one piece on the top, about probably like an inch or 2 long, just so that I had enough space to dump those sequins right in the top. And then I will seal that up with my sewing machine, and I will add a few more stitched circles around the edges then. So I've got all those beautiful sequins in there. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna add a few more yet, and then I'll go ahead and seal that up. So I also pulled out an acrylic title piece by Colorcast Designs that I'm going to use on this layout. It's laying there on the right, and then I've pulled out some Flair by Scrappin Studios that'll scatter throughout my layout. So I'm going to pop my photo down here. It's going to go somewhere around this area, and then here's my gorgeous title piece from Colorcast that I just love. I just think it's so pretty. I love the color of it, and this photo just goes perfect with that color. I just love it. It's the photo of myself and my baby girl on one of our beach days. So we were enjoying some fun in the sand and then the sunshine and by the water. So it was a really good day. But I'm actually going to make my title say hello gorgeous instead of just gorgeous. So I'm just adding some Bella Florence alphas in black to create that next part of the title. So I'm just putting all those letters on, and then that will finish that title piece off. So next I'm going to go ahead and pull out some Nuvo glue and go ahead and stick this title piece down. I love using that Nuvo glue because it does dry clear and it goes on so smooth. So it's probably my favorite adhesive. I also like to use Thermoweb's Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. It's about the same texture. It goes on really smooth as well and dries clear as well too. So they both work really, really well. So I just trimmed off that little stitch there, and I'm going to grab some Bella Boulevard embellishments from just random collections that I have here. So I'm adding a little tab to the top. I've grabbed some of those little puffy stars that I'm going to scatter throughout this layout. I've grabbed some little die cut pieces, some chipboard here, but I didn't really want to add a whole lot of embellishments to this. I really wanted it to be a focus on that pretty background paper, the stitching, and some wordy bits, and of course those beautiful sequins in the background. So I'm just pulling off this cute little SPF and the sun. So I'm going to add both of those onto my layout, and that's pretty much going to do it for my embellishments themselves. I'm just going to pull off a bunch of wordy bits from different collections, and then I'm going to add a bunch of these little flare buttons. So these are Epoxy Flare by Scrappin Studio. I'm going to add a few of those, and then I have a canvas one that I'm going to add as well. So I'm just scattering them kind of down the layout. But originally I was going to put some thread behind that, so I think you'll see a portion of that in this video when I start popping thread behind them, and then I rip it off because I didn't really like the way that it looked on this layout. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things to do behind Flair, but it just didn't really suit this layout. So maybe it's because I had thread already on the layout that I didn't like adding more, but yeah, I decided against it. So I was going to use this little cocoa vanilla flower, but I pulled that off in the end too, and I ended up not using it either. But sometimes that happens. I pull some things out and I just kind of try things and see what works and what I like, and sometimes I don't like them in the end and I end up pulling them back off. So same thing with that rainbow, is really trying to make that work, but I ended up pulling that off as well and not using it. So I've grabbed this little collection from my stash. It's been in my stash for a long time. It's a Simple Stories one. And I'm actually going to use a whole bunch of these little wordy bits from this collection on my layout. So it's kind of got like a Valentine's Day feel, so it has a lot of February 14th things, but it's also got a bunch of lovey-dovey things. So that really suits this layout. So I'm going to use a whole bunch of that and just layer them right over here on this side. It'll kind of draw your eye back to the photo, which is what I want to do here. So I've just added a whole bunch of those. I'm going to try to clean my desk up a little bit here. And then I'm just going to see what else I have here from my stash. These are some old, I think they're Mombi stickers, but I've had them in my stash a long time. And I pulled off that little heart from that. And then I'm just going to take these little puffy stars. I'm going to scatter them all around that circle. But I'm going to go ahead and stick these Flair down at this point. See, here's where I'm messing with that thread. And I love the way that it looks on other layouts. I just didn't care for it on this one. And I think I do leave it on the bottom one just because it needed something down there. But the other ones, I end up ripping it back off. So we'll see here. I think I speed this video up here in a second. So you're going to see the thread on, but then you'll see it taken back off here in a minute. But I don't know. Sometimes I try things and see what works, and that didn't particularly work, so I took it back off. So here's my stars. I'm just going to scatter these little puffy stars all around my stitching here and around my circle. I'm actually going to go back in and glue them down with some Nuvo glue though, because I found that they have lost their sense of stickiness. So I'm going to just make sure I add extra reinforcement on those and make sure that they stay sticky in my book over time and they don't fall off. So I'm just going to go back through and add a little bit of Nuvo to them. So I know that that's going to dry clear on there whenever they're all stuck down, so I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm actually going to grab some more of those sequins too and stick a few of those, just kind of scatter them about and just add a few onto the top layer as well. So those are all stuck down, and then just adding my date stamp over here with the Project Life Becky Higgins stamp, and here's the finished layout. So again, if you guys want to grab these sequins from the shop, my code is Jessica15. You can grab them, they're still in stock, and any other sequin mixes at 15% off. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for being here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.